folks, welcome to another video. Let's get the water out of the way. What's crazy is that last week we had days after days of 105, 110 degrees, and then this week it's kind of dropped into the 90s, and at nighttime it's about into the 80s. Like high 80s. We're not talking 80 degrees. Well, so today I will be smoking RomeoYJulieta Media Noches. This is a Maduro, and it is a Churchill, so I'll probably end up smoking half of this and then let it burn out, cut it, and then smoke the other half some other time. And and if you do that, do not put your cigar back into the humidor with the other cigars, unless you don't mind your humidor smelling like an ashtray. You can put it into a piece of Tupperware, or if you have a masonry jar. I prefer a masonry jar because they're a lot tighter, airtight wise. So this is the cigar I was talking about that, as you can see, that has plume. And this was from the store. There's a piece of plume right there on the head, and it's on the tail. I did take my cell phone and kind of magnified it real close. And supposedly, if it is plume, it's supposed to be flat and on the surface of the cigar. If it's fungus will, like I said, fungus will be kind of greenish, kind of fuzzy-ish, and it will be raised up above the cigar surface. And and if you do have one of those, I guess Magnum, it's not really a microscope, but it is a magnifying scope that can magnify things up to like ×10 and things like that, to where you can put in big objects. But your cell phone will do just as good of a job, and I can say that this is actually plume. At least to me, it's flat with the surface of the cigar. It's not greenish. I don't see any fuzziness to it. So what is plume? Plume is basically oil that has seeped up from inside the cigar onto the surface of the cigar leaf. And yes, Romeo and Juliet is a very good cigar brand. They're very reputable. They're kind of on the more higher end side of price wise. Yeah, it is V cut, and the draw could be better. It's a very hard draw. Yeah, the draw could definitely be better. Anyways, so I probably won't be able to finish this Churchill Maduro by Media Noches. Of course, Noches means night. Media means, of course, the English word media, of course, means means of course the fake media, or it means could be a medium, which means a middle. So this might mean, I guess, midnight in Spanish. I don't know. But yeah, and usually cigars that do get plume are going to be Maduros, because Maduro leaves are aged longer. They're aged anywhere from 2 to 3 times longer than a regular cigar leaf. That's what gives it the darker color. Or you could have but I mainly see it in Maduros, or you could have a Connecticut leaf wrapper, where the where the fillers is maybe a more oily leaf. But I don't see that happening to where the oils from the filler, seeps through the binder and the wrapper to get to the. Normally, the oil comes from the wrapper. The oil is let's say this is an oily wrapper, and the oils are seeped up and they started crystallizing on the surface. Basically, what it is. Think of think of animal fat, or vegetable oil that's been sitting in a pan for a while, and it kind of coagulates and turns kind of whitish. This is basically what it is. It's basically cigar oil. Yeah, it's basically cigar oil that's seeped up through the cigar and has dried up on the leaf, dried up on the surface of the cigar. And yes, plume is one of those things that is sought after. It means that your cigar leaf has been properly aged and that you got a nice oily. Normally the oily cigar leaves are the higher grade leaves. And yeah, this is a strong cigar. So I probably will get through about half of this and let it burn out, cut it. So basically, in the news, this is the fourth day, or the last day of the DNC pandering. 4 days of pandering, and I guess what they've done with the convention is that I don't know if the delegates didn't show up from most of the states, but there was a scene where the camera was Kamala Harris talking, and it was after she was talking, I guess the camera kind of panned out into the crowd, and there was like 10 people. It's like 10 delegates showed up to the convention. So basically, who shows up to like the DNC and RNC? These are folks who are hardcore Democrat, hardcore Republicans. These are the folks who will not question anyone that either of the parties nominate as the nominee. As Bernie Sanders says, at least for the DNC, for the primaries, if they put a potato and stuck a D on the potato, the Democrats at the primaries will still vote Democrat, and you can probably say the same for the Republicans. So I'm not sure. So next week, I think it's either next week or the week before, it's going to be the RNC. And I'm not sure how that one's going to show. If they're going to do the social distancing or just like Trump rallies, where it's like, hey, everyone just pile in, and if you get sick, you get sick. You're not going to die, basically. It's a coronavirus or COVID-19. You basically have a 98 or a 99.7% chance of surviving. The mortality rate of the virus is only 0.03%. So I'll take my chance. Anything that is a positive 99.7%, I'll take. If it's today there's a 99.7% chance that you'll make it to work, every day. There might be that 0.03% where you might get into a car accident. And that's pretty much what it is. I mean, there's a higher chance. Actually, there's a higher chance of you getting into a car accident driving to work every day than dying from coronavirus. But yeah, I mean, I'll take 97.7% 7% chance, or 99. Why can't I say 97? Yeah, there's a freaking radio station that's in the area. It's 97 point something, which I used to listen to. I guess the station changed and I stopped listening to it. But anyway, a 99.7% chance. Not a bad cigar, but again, the draw is really, really bad. And not because it's Churchill. I've had Churchills that had really smooth draws. I don't know, maybe it's the plume. Maybe there's oil inside that's clogging up the pathway. I don't know. But a hard draw cigar is not fun to smoke. As you can see, when I'm puffing on, there's barely any smoke coming out. So we'll see. Yeah, and of course, news in California. Surprisingly, I think Trump was able to appoint like a few judges to the Ninth Circuit Courts of Appeal, and that might be all that it took, because so it looks like the Ninth Circuit of Appeals Court, which is the court that handles California and those states in that area. And yeah, and you can look up which federal courts of appeal has jurisdiction over your state, because normally I think it's four. I think there's it's the ninth. I think it's like for each federal appeals courts, there's 4 states that they have jurisdiction over. And of course, California is the 9th court of appeals. So they basically struck down California's. Of course, California keeps trying to ban high-capacity magazines. They tried again, and this time they failed again. So it's like it's like they'll pass a state law saying, hey, you can't buy, any handgun magazines above 10 rounds, any rifle magazine above 20 rounds, and of course someone would challenge it. It goes to the Ninth Court. It goes up to the maybe the California Supreme Court. Then maybe it'll go to the in this case the Ninth Circuit Courts of Appeal, and each time it would get struck down, and then California would pass the law again. Then someone's got to take them to court. So they've been trying this for a long time. Now, while Obama is in office, yeah, they were able to get away with banning the high-capacity magazines. I remember on the gun forums, there were a lot of guys in California. It's like, hey, man, I got a 30-round magazine, and it's grandfather. I bought it before the high-capacity magazine ban. Stupid things like that. And yes, because of California, anything you buy, a car, motorcycle, you have to buy the specific California legal models. Guns too, you gotta buy, the California model. There's a few other things that if you live in California, only because of California's regulations. Yes, and if you buy a lot of things too, you'll see the warning on there that says, in the state of California, there are items or things in this product that has been known to cause cancer and birth defect in the state of California. And so it seems that this only affects people who live in California. The birth defects and the poison. And of course, the lead paint thing was California too. There were lead paints people in California were still using lead paints to paint their house, and when everybody else stopped doing it. And then there was that thing about the toys coming from Mexico into California. They had lead paint. And what's funny, since we're talking about California, since right now we're in a summer heat wave. At least last 2 weeks, last week and the week before last, was the summer heat wave. We're now in like pretty, I would say pretty normal summer temperature. So of course California started having rolling blackouts, which they have every year. And of course, California boasts they have reached 100% clean. They have reached 100% clean energy. So basically, they're supposedly there's no I guess energy production plants in California that's nuclear or carbon. Is that they're 100% clean. So the problem is, why do they still have an even worse? Because I talked to cousins like, yeah, man, there was a blackout yesterday and today. And on top of that, people can't afford to use the AC because electricity there is so darn expensive. And of course, they're brainwashed. Yeah, but California, speaking with them, yeah, well, they need to put up more wind turbine. They need to put up more solar panels, solar panel farms. I'm like, you realize that all of those wind turbine farms that's out there, or a lot of those wind turbines are derelict. Nobody's looking after them. The companies that put them up took the government money, put up the wind turbine and left. And I told them, on top of that, the solar panels and wind turbines have about a 10 to 15 year lifespan, and then you got to put up new ones. Now you can't refurbish. You can't refurbish the old wind turbine. You can't refurbish the old solar panel. You have to replace them. And the problem with both technologies is that they're not eco friendly. So if you got a 15 acre or 30 acre solar panel farms, you got to replace all of those, and all of those solar panels are going to be going into the trash or into some trash dump. Same for the wind turbine. And I explained to them, the blades for this wind turbine are filled with foam. Now, foam is not one. It's not biodegradable. Two, it is not recyclable. And each blade is like 75 foot. And I've seen these on the back of tractor trailers on the highway heading out west, where all of the West Texas, where all of our derelict wind turbines are. No, I'm not even mentioning all of them. Was it something like 6,000, or is it 60,000? It's somewhere around 6,000 or either 60,000. It's like 6,000 bird of prey, and total is like 6,000 birds a year are killed by wind turbines. Of course, nothing from PETA, but of course the arbor, what's called basically the foundation that I guess is for birds. Now those guys have actually come up and said something. It's like, hey man, these wind turbines are killing all these birds, man. You guys need to do something about it. Now they could do kind of like those things you put on your car to warn deers, which don't work. Someone say, well, maybe put something on the blades that makes a noise. Well, birds don't really have good hearing. They have good sight, especially bird of prey. But we're talking falcons, eagles, bald-headed eagles specifically. they got super duper sight, but their hearing's not the best. Yeah, so I had a little conversation with them. I had to explain, hey, look into these things that you're supporting that's destroying that is destroying your economy. One, two, destroying your ecology. It's killing all of your birds. These solar panels that are being put up, acres and acres of wildlife and plants have to be plowed over. Animals have to be relocated. Of course, plants are just plowed over. The plants don't even get relocated. So if you're a plant, your ass is getting plowed over. But if you're a lizard or a turtle, yeah, you get relocated. So I kind of explained that to them. They're still, man, they need to put up more. I'm like, okay, never mind, man. I'm not gonna. I told them, hey, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. We do need to use it along with nuclear and fossil fuel. Damn bug. Yeah, smoke the bug out. Which of course California's like, no. We're going to stick with solar and wind, and I guess they're going to die by it because so right now every day there's rolling blackouts, and well, that's on them. And as of right now, there's no new nuclear power plants being built. And last I checked on Japan, since that Fukushima incident, I heard that they were slowly shutting down, all of their nuclear power plants. And I'm thinking, okay, Japan, yes, and even with all the nuclear power plants up and running before the 2011 earthquake, electricity in Japan was still freaking expensive. It's the reason why a lot of the Japanese don't turn on AC during the winter and don't turn on the heater in the wintertime, because their electricity is just so darn expensive. A lot of them, a lot of Japanese folks, unless you live, I guess, yeah, even if you live in Tokyo, a lot of Japanese folks will either go walk around the stores, shopping malls. When they get home, they just leave the window open. And oh yes, the summertime in Japan, even all the way up to Tokyo. Southern Japan is of course really hot and humid. Actually, I think all of Japan is hot and humid during the summertime. But yeah, they'll sit there with the window open, sitting there sweating, and then they go take a hot bath. But I guess if you grew up. In that environment, I guess your body gets used to it. So I guess I'll touch up on the Portland thing. So this Maurice guy, I forgot his last name. So basically, he and a bunch of thugs were attacking this tranny to take her skateboard. Yeah, it's a guy, but I'm just calling it a her. So this guy in a white pickup, they keep saying truck. No, it's a pickup. A truck is like a Freightliner, Vanderbilt, or what's one, the Bulldog. Anyways, yeah, what the guy's driving is a pickup, but they keep labeling it as a truck. So I guess, yeah, you could call it a truck, but a pickup would make more sense. Because at first I thought these guys were attacking a delivery food driver, because they kept mentioning truck, a white truck. So I was like, okay, then it was, a guy, so basically a guy and his girlfriend sitting in their white pickup sees this. So he goes over there to try to. Man, I wouldn't, man. You see, 5, 6, 7, 10 guys attacking this one person. Unless you got your Glock on you, or your Smith & Wesson on you, or something more than just your fist, don't go over to try to intervene, because they're going to jump on you, and that's exactly what they did to this guy. So he goes over, so he puts his cape on, he goes over, tries to intervene. They come after him. He and his girlfriend both jump into their white pickup. They take off, and of course, as they're trying to drive away, I would have ran these people over, man, because if anything teaches you in this incident, because I think he crashed because he swerved to try to avoid running somebody over, because these guys were running up and like hitting his truck, and I guess a few of them got in front of the truck, and the guy swerved, lost control, and hit a telephone pole, and pretty much put his truck out of commission. So at this point, he got dragged out, and they beat him nearly to death. Of course, they mugged him, mugged his girlfriend. Luckily that's all they did to the girlfriend, was just mugged her. So they took their belonging, took his belonging, what they could find. We don't know what happened to that tranny that got assaulted for his skateboard, or her skateboard. So they're saying that these thugs were attacking that tranny to get the skateboard that the tranny had. So these guys are a bunch of kids. Okay, when you see it was the Chicago riot. You'll see I guess this is after they went to the Magnificent Mile, and of course the rich people in the Magnificent Mile, they're like, they went to the mayor's like, hey, you need to do something about this, or we're going to have your head. So she told the Chicago police to put on riot gear, get out there, and quell the riots. So if you look at the video of the protesters, rioters, and the police, you'll see this knucklehead. And of course, the skateboard is a good. It's a good defense weapon. It's flat. It's got like 7 to 10 layers, depending on which model you buy. 7 to 10 layers of wood. Yeah, that's how they make skateboard. They get a bunch of it's not like one piece of wood. It's a bunch of wood that's layered and glued on top of each other. So it's very strong. So a skateboard is very strong. Of course, it's got to be strong to hold up, a 150, 70, 200-pound man. It's not only is a good shield, but you can use it to bash and smash people. And and you see these guys with their skateboards out there. It's like, man, police officer, smack these guys and grab the skateboard, and toss it to the side. And of course, then you'll see the knuckleheads with the bikes, that they're trying to use the bikes as like a shield between them and the police officer. So back to Portland. So the white guy was beaten nearly to death. And the only reason that they're looking for this black guy, well, he looks mixed. He's very light-skinned, but then there are some more likely he's mixed. But there are some black folks who are, both black parents still come out very light-skinned. But anyways, the reason they're looking for this guy is because he attacked that tranny. Or he and his goons attacked that tranny. But he was the one that, of course, got caught on surveillance camera doing most of the damage. Now, will the police find him? I doubt it. His Antifa buddies are hiding him. He's not leaving the house until all of this blows over. And the thing is that even if the cops do find him, nothing's going to happen to him. They'll probably arrest him. No charges will be brought. And he'll be let go. So the thing is that, why is the police even looking for the guy? I don't know. If you're not going to do anything, why even bother? you know, so even if the white guy who got beat nearly to death, even if he doesn't press any charges, you know, the police should, the DA should press charges. But like I said, that's not going to happen. They're just because of social media and this got onto the news. It's the only reason why the police even going, yeah, well, we're looking for the guy, and we're looking to arrest the guy, and we're looking, you know, and so one, they're not going to find the guy. Two, even if they do find this guy, nothing's going to happen to him. So if you learned anything from this incident, is run those people over, because if you don't, you're going to end up looking like this guy where you're beaten near death. No, he's lucky he didn't. No, he's lucky he's not dead. No, he may have gotten some brain damage from being kicked to the head multiple times, and you can see all the blood coming from the cut in his head from the video, the grainy video. But you know, so it's like. Take your chances of being beaten to death. Running over these protesters. Yes, the police are going to arrest you. Yeah, so if you do it, yes, you will get arrested, and get an attorney, and hopefully it's just an arrest and no charge, kind of like the case of that trucker. Where he didn't even run anybody over, and he still got arrested. Yeah, well, I'm talking about trucker, that 18-wheeler, that was that red 18-wheeler. Yeah, that guy, even though he didn't run anybody over, he still got arrested. Get away, dog! Don't lick that. You dumb dog. So yeah, so you will probably get arrested. Hopefully you have a. Let's call that a criminal attorney on retainer. And again, I've looked into these, and they cost about $20 to $30 a month. You just got to find the law firm or the law group. I would probably go with a law group, because it's a bigger group of attorneys. And it's almost like paying insurance. So if something like that happens, you have a criminal, because it will be a criminal. Criminals. I guess you can do criminal or civil. I don't know. And then give them a call and say, hey, that $30 I've been paying you guys every month for the last 10 years. I'm calling it in. But okay, we'll send Bobby. He's 23 years old. Just got out of law school. It's like, shit. Well, can you send Bobby's boss? Or can you send Bobby's senior attorney that he works with? Because if you're going to send Bobby, the 23-year-old kid that just got out of law school, or 25-year-old kid that just got out of law school, then you might as well settle for, you might as well settle for a public defender. Let me see. I think I'll close it on that. Don't have much else to say. Luckily, my neck of the woods, we don't have Portland and Seattle. Like Trump says, Portland and Seattle is an example of where the Democrats wants to take us. And of course, just like in 2016, both Putin and Xi are rooting for the Democrats, and 2020 is going to be the same. Xi and Putin are both rooting for the Democrats. And again, the Democrats are falling back on their Russian, Trump and Russian collusion. Trump is buddies with Putin. Like, okay, he's not colluding with Russia, but if he's on friendly terms with Putin, then I don't see anything wrong with that. Damn bug. Yeah, okay, yeah, and I'll close on this. So right now, it's like the best time if for companies that sells guns, ammos, gun accessories, because everything's flying off the shelf. Everywhere I'm checking, every website I'm checking, everything is sold out. Even gun accessories, gun parts, items for your guns are sold out. And what's funny is that I probably have to order this part online. So I was at the store the other day. Of course, my rifle case is a bit old. It's really old, but it's a really nice one, and it's still okay. So I was like, let me go and see what's new, what the store got. So I found this bag, and I purchased it. I was like, hey, I really like this, man. I'm gonna go get they had another one, which is, I guess they call it the instead of in the shape of your regular a gun case shape. It's actually a square. I guess they call it what was it, the not hidden, but the but basically it's called the rectangular shape gun case. So it's not in the shape of the of your standard gun case. So okay, I'm gonna go back and get that, and I go back and I was like, what the hell, man? There was a whole bunch too, and so I go to one of the store associates. Hey, man, can you tell me what happened to all of these? They're all gone. I was here yesterday. I bought one. Now I'm back here to buy another one, but they're all gone. And of course, when I was there, I was the only one looking at the rifle cases. So it wasn't like there was 10 people there looking. So I have a feeling what they did was they took it off. They took it out from display to put other items up. But the guy just gave me well, they're all sold out. It's like, really? Yeah, because I was there in the later afternoon, because stores all close around 6 or 7 now, which is stupid. It's kind of like that Morrissey song, "Every Day's Like Sunday," and that's what we've become. It's like every day's like Sunday. Yeah, especially if you live in a red state, Sundays everything closed early. In blue states, maybe not, but yeah, but on Sundays everything closed early. But now since coronavirus, every day is like Sunday. It's like 6 o'clock, everything's closed. But of course, now there are stores that are slowly staying open later on, like 7, 8, in some case 9. And anyway, so the guy goes, well, they're all sold out. I was like, oh, man, no freaking way. I was here yesterday, and I was the only one looking around. You're telling me from yesterday afternoon till today, somebody came in and bought up all of the gun cases. So yeah, so now I'm going to have to order the one I liked. I'm going to have to order online, which is a pain in the ass, because it's free delivery at least. No, it's not Amazon. It's free delivery, so at least I ain't gotta pay for delivery. That's what I hate about ordering online. So not only do you gotta pay tax, but you gotta pay the extra delivery, so it's like extra tax. Yeah, so I was like, what the heck, man? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was just being lazy. I could have told him, hey, man, can you go in the back and look? Maybe the restockers just took those out, put these newer ones up to rotate out their stock, which is probably what happened. They took those out, put some other ones up to kind of rotate things out. And like, damn it! So now I gotta freaking order it online. So right now, retailers, gun stores, gun retailers, or making lots and lots of money. The hand over fist is that word I'm thinking of. Hand over fist, money, and there have been some companies that came in recently that are making guns, specifically ARs, 2015, 2017. So those companies got in, you know, just I would say just in time. So yeah, so if you thought Obama was a good gun salesman, no, the present day, DNC along with Biden beats Obama on the gun sale, because not only is it conservatives in red states who are buying guns, it's liberals who are buying guns. And of course, the liberals are buying guns they're saying that to fight against the tyrannical King Trump, because in their mind, of course, Biden has already won, and they're saying that when Biden wins, Trump's not going to leave office. That's why we're buying guns. And I was talking to a salesman, and the guy was like, "Yeah, we had had a lady come in yesterday, and she bought like 3 handguns." I was like, "Wow, that's like that. That's a." He goes, then he goes, and all the times that we're getting the gun ready, doing the paperwork, he's like, the whole time the lady was bitching about Trump, saying Trump this, Trump that, Trump sucks, and of course, him being a salesman, he didn't really say anything to her, but he was like, you realize Biden, the guy that of course me and him were speaking, he and I were speaking. And he said, I felt like saying to the lady, you realize Biden, the guy you're voting for, is anti-gun, and you wouldn't be able to buy these 3 guns with Biden in office. Oh, there it goes. The ash fell off. So I might smoke down probably another inch before I call it. Or if I'm feeling okay, I may just go all the way. And so I was like, really, man? He's like, yeah, there's a lot of these liberal types coming in that's buying ARs, buying handguns, and I was like, and I told the guy, well, it's like, I knew liberals were buying these in blue states, but I didn't know they were buying them in red states too. He's like, yeah, man, it's like a lot of these liberal types coming in. And of course, I was thinking to myself, didn't say it to the salesman, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is your atypical liberal hypocrisy right here on full display. Well, that's it. And I do thanks for watching. Stay safe. Don't get sick. If you do get sick, you probably won't die. Just stay home. Take your, I don't know, flu. Take your hydroxychloroquine. Don't go into riot areas. If you live near Portland, move. If you live near Seattle, I guess move over to Eastern Washington, because supposedly that's where all the conservatives live. And thanks for watching.